Bryan, thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. In today's video, we are super excited because after one full year, we are finally ready to reveal AWE's all-new exhaust for the S55 powered M3 and M4. So if you didn't know, we actually lent our car to be a development project for AWE to completely redesign their exhaust suite for the S55 powered M3s and M4s. You see, the reason is that although single mid-pipe solutions are super popular right now, none of them are EPA compliant, and the EPA is doing serious crackdowns on companies like us and consumers like you, which is why we don't sell anything like downpipes or cat deletes of any type. So today we are super excited to finally announce and reveal AWE's all-new 50 state legal EPA compliant exhaust suite for the S55 powered M3 and M4, and spoiler alert, it sounds amazing. Now, if you're familiar with AWE tuning, they typically have two exhausts for most cars. There are some outliers, but they have a switch path, which is a valve system, which is my personal favorite because you can have neighbor-friendly mode and also rowdy mode. Or if you just like to party all the time, there is the straight track edition. And today what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you both. We're gonna show you what they sound like, and we'll give you a rough overview on how to install them. All right now my car has the track edition on, which has no mufflers. It sounds amazing, but it's not the most neighbor-friendly system in the world. Let's put the car up in the air. We'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you where the cut points are, and we'll take it from there. All right now the car is up in the air, so let's show you what it looks like. So as we're gonna say 3,000 times in this videos, we have our stock catalytic converters in the downpipes, and then over here we have our stock secondary cats. And the AWE system cuts in and ties in after the cat. So because we have all four, it's EPA legal and it's 50 state compliant, so you don't have to worry about emissions rules. If you take a look at the stock pipe versus the AWE, you will notice that the AWE is a true 3-inch diameter on both sides of the pipe. That being said, they had to make this custom little support piece that dips down to make sure you're not gonna get any rattles as you're driving down the road. Okay, so following the cut point, over here we have an X pipe just to enhance the sound of the S55, and then the exhaust travels back to here. Now your car right now probably has a giant muffler right here that's taking up this whole cavity, and as you can see, with the track edition exhaust from AWE, well, there's no muffler because it's a straight pipe. It's essentially what you get with an M4 GT4 exhaust. However, it is a fraction of the cost because you're not paying the BMW tax on it. One thing that I love about the AWE exhaust is that they made it modular. So what that means is if I wanted to add the switch path muffler, all you need to do is just disconnect it from here, and you can swap on that other component that we have on the ground over there. So if you want to have the track edition exhaust for track days and whatnot, you can have that. I mean, I actually like to flip back and forth, so it's actually pretty fun, especially when you go to a car show. You want the car to be loud, so you put on the track exhaust. Now, as we've kind of already said, how this differs from the switch path is the switch path is a valved exhaust, so you can have party mode or you can have it very team and neighbor friendly, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. Let's put this car back on the ground, take it outside, and show you how it sounds. All right, so we are here on the open road. We have the car warmed up, and this is the track exhaust. So the thing with the track exhaust, it's pretty loud all the time. So if you have a spouse and kids, you might want to think about if this is the best exhaust for you, or if something like the switch path would be better, but give it a couple rips. So, as you can hear, this exhaust sounds incredible. I love the way this exhaust sounds. Now for me, spoiler alert if I haven't said it already 3 times, I prefer the switch path because I like to have rowdy mode, but I also like to calm it down too. Especially driving a Ferrari red F80 M3. It helps you blend in a little bit better when your car sounds a little quieter, but it just sounds so good. I gotta be a little bit careful because we're on summer tires and it's snowing in an F80, which is not really a good combo, but hopefully this gives you a sense on how good this exhaust really sounds. It sounds so good. As you can hear, track exhaust, loudest, most rowdy. One thing about AWE, it sounds so good, so clean. So I have it on most of my cars. You just can't go wrong with AWE. So now that you have a sense on what this sounds like, let's head back to the shop. We'll throw on the switch path, and then we'll do some runs again of what it sounds like with the exhaust valves closed and then open. All right, so we just got done doing the standing revving. As you can see, it's actively snowing, so we're not gonna be able to do flybys. We don't wanna ruin our camera over it. But one thing I have to say, this sounds incredible, absolutely incredible. And when you're listening to it, keep in mind, just like we showed you, I have my factory downpipes with catalytic converters, and I have my secondary cats. So for anybody who says you need to be catless for it to sound good, completely false. This thing sounds insane. Now we're gonna put the car back into the shop. We're gonna put it back up on the lift. We're gonna put in the switch path so that we can tame it down so it's not just raw party time all the time. So let's get that done. All right, so now what we're going to do, the exhaust has cooled down enough to where I can touch it without getting third-degree burns. We are going to swap it out. It is a pretty easy process. It's always best if you do it with 2 people. Just makes it a little bit easier. So basically you have your 2 13 mils over here, and hold that exhaust hanger in, and then you have 2 13 mils over here. All of this is sold separately. So you'll typically buy the track exhaust or you'll buy the switch path, but there are some components you can buy if you have one and you want to switch to the other. So let me start by removing these. Okay, once you've done that, I'm just gonna take the exhaust hanger, put it over there, and then with this one, I'm gonna just rock it down so that it's out of the way. And then you're gonna take a 15 mil. I'm gonna loosen up my bracket here. And this exhaust is still secured over here, and it's still slid on quite a bit, so I don't have to worry about it falling on my head. And it's super light because there's not really much to it. Once you've done that, I just pull up and down on these a little bit to get some flex. And then you can start to wiggle it off. Just be careful of your diffuser. Okay. I'm just about off here. Okay. And that's how easy it is to remove it. So now I'm gonna go grab the other one, and I might need Zach's help for it, but I'm gonna try to struggle through it by myself first. All right, so then I'm just gonna take my hangers on the switch path. So as you can see, the switch path is a valved system. Basically, the way that it works is if you have it on quiet mode, it closes the valve in here and forces the exhaust gas through the muffler, and then it comes out the middle pipes, where if you have it open, it's enabled to free flow through here, and then some will also go through the muffler as well. So you have no restriction of flow. All right. So I'm gonna start to work that up on that side. Okay, now let me flip this around. Okay, I'm gonna put a couple of these nuts in just to secure this. Okay, I'm just going to clip in my exhaust actuator. We just tucked them up top here for the beginning of our video. All right. Well, I should probably tighten these down too. What do you think? That'll be a good idea. I think so. I'm like, all right, let's go. What's that rattling? All right. There we go. Tighten it back down with our 15. And this is actually not a bad project, even with the jack and jack stands. They used my car to do some testing on an airstrip. And what they did is they did a couple runs with the car, and then they literally just jacked the back of the car up and then did this on their backs in the parking lot so that they could just keep doing some runs and getting some sound clips for their site. So once you've tightened these and those, obviously you're gonna have to adjust your tips, whatnot. We've already had this installed, so ours are good to go. You are pretty much good to go, and we're gonna go do some testing. Before I do so, I do just wanna tell you about the tips. On here, we have the black 102 millimeter. They also make a chrome 102 millimeter. They make a 90 mil black, a 90 mil chrome, and if you want carbon, which is the steel tip with the carbon sleeve on it, I believe that is a 96 millimeter. So I wanted the black because this car has like a shadow line black package on it. So I thought that looked the best, and I wanted the biggest tip possible that wouldn't rattle and be annoying, which was this one. So I think these look incredible, and now it's time to hear it. All right, so right now we have the switch path on, and right now it is in quiet mode. I'm not gonna be pushing it a tremendous amount because it's quite wet out now and it's pretty cold, so I don't wanna hit any ice or anything, and well, then we won't be able to finish the video. So once we get up here, I'm just gonna lightly get on it a little bit, and then we'll give you some shots of what it sounds like with the valves closed, which it is right now. So, very quiet. Again, this is the quietest mode that it has. Very neighbor friendly. If I go out with my wife on a date, this is the mode that it stays in. It does not go to the loud mode. Let's do it again. I'll take it from third. So, very manageable. Now, with the simple press of my M button here, we now have the valves open, which is party time. All right, so here's third again. All right. So traction's a little bit of an issue right now. So I'm just trying to be safe about this, but once we get back to you, you'll be able to hear the revs before and after. All right, so let's just take it easy from third. Nice and straight. So without killing ourselves, you can see that it sounds good. I will say, it's not as, even though it's open, it's not as loud as the track exhaust. The track exhaust is still louder. I originally thought that the switch path would be the same volume as the track exhaust. It's not the case. It is slightly quieter. So once we get up here, I'll try to do another gradual pull here. I guess it's time to switch out our tires. But I love the way that this sounds. I think it sounds very refined. Now there may be other airbag lights on my dash, but there's no check engine light. And that's, again, because it's not deleting any of that stuff. There you go, that sounds really nice. Yeah, but I love the way this car sounds. I think this is super refined. It's not droney. It's not gonna give you a headache when you're driving. It's just like the right volume. And then again, if you wanna just have that extra neighbor-friendly mode, you have it at your fingertips, literally. So now that we're back from our test drive, you can hear that AWE's new EPA compliant exhaust sounds incredible. Again, it works on the F80 M3 and also the F82 M4. And again, you don't have to remove any of your cats, so it's 50 state compliant and it's EPA friendly. If you're interested in one for your F80 or F82, be sure to see the links down in the description. Once again, my name is Brian. That's Zach behind the camera. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Check us out at kiesmotorsports.com, and we'll see you in the next video.